Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. I'm your host, Fred Schultz. We got a pretty good lineup here tonight. Before I get into my shout-outs, I'm going to tell you what we got going on here. The last couple of weeks, I had guys from I'm going to give this a shot now, one more time, Fred, you can do it, old school paintball guns group. William Bailey laughs at me every time I try to say that, but that's like a tongue twister for me. But what a great group of guys. This is one that Bill Bailey actually started a long time ago. Now it's over 10,000 members. I'm actually proud to be member 9,998. So everybody tells me. So that's pretty cool. I'm very, very happy to be that. And we had those guys on a couple of weeks ago. And have I got something here? Nope. We had those guys on a couple of weeks ago, and there's so many members. I did 2 weeks of them. And we will be doing them again sometime. I just don't know exactly when. And for right now, we're going to do something I absolutely love very, very much. I got somebody beeping the heck out of me in here, guys. I don't know who it is. Hate to do this, everybody. Let me see. Well, we're trying to get somebody else on here tonight. I've got three terrific guys on here tonight. I got Jake Barini. Now these are all Mad guys. Okay, I love the Mad guys. There's just no doubt about it. And I've got Brad Gruitt, paintball therapy, something I need almost all the time. So I got Brad here to calm me down. Maybe I could have got the old school paintball guns guys right if I would have talked to Brad ahead of time, but obviously I didn't, so I choked on that one. I give Bill Bailey something to laugh about. And obviously having William Bailey on. Now, these guys are a terrific bunch. I am really, really looking forward to it. Steve McGuire, he just chimed in, said no coughing. Yeah, Steve McGuire, a friend of mine, he has unknown podcast, and I don't say the whole thing because he'll correct me on it, I'm sure. But he's up in Canada. He has a very nice podcast up there too, and him and I have a few things going on. And I see Mark Gong chimed in. Mark sent me this. He made this for me, which I very, very well appreciate. But we're looking forward to having a good conversation and a lot of fun tonight. So anyhow, without further ado, I want to go ahead and I do my shout outs first of all. These are guys that have worked extremely hard to build a sport to what it is today. And these are names I just do not want people to forget. They mean an awful lot to me, and I just absolutely love it. I don't know what I got going on here. I seem to be missing one of the people that I'm supposed to have on here tonight, and I do not know why. Very interesting. Anyhow, let me give my shout outs real quick to Mr. Tim Schloss. Tim used to own Tiger Stripe Camo. Boom, right there. He now owns Gateway Paintball in St. Louis. If you get a chance, if you're in the Midwest in that area, get over there and absolutely try his field. I guess it's outstanding. Bill Bailey and Bud Orr went there a few weeks ago, and they said they absolutely loved it. So I think it's just very, very cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to someday getting there to play myself. So Dan Colby just chimed in. What's going on, Danny? And Dirk. A lot of good people on here tonight. Next, I'm actually going to mention Dan and John Colby, owners of Immortal Air. Very good friends of mine. I've been with Danny for 30-some years here now, 31 years, a long, long time. I just love their air system. Just everything that they've ever put out has always been top-notch. Absolutely great. And I just absolutely love it. Then I want to say hi to my buddy, Mr. Automag, Tom K. Tom, very good friend of mine. I've shot this marker for a long, long time. I was very, very proud to be associated with him, and he's just an all-around great guy. He really, really is. And Mr. Bud Orr. Yeah, I guess you don't have to say much about him either, War Game Products, Autococker. Bud watches us all the time. We appreciate that so very much. Also, Rainey and Juby Boucher. They put out paintball news back in the day. They used to do it 2 times a month. They would not charge. They'd send them all across the U.S., to all the fields and everything like that. And it was just absolutely great what they would do. I can never thank them guys enough. They were just terrific. And I want to thank Randy Camilla. Randy Camilla used to have APG. He run APG, was the editor for it. Gave me my first cover shot and kind of catapulted me up into where I guess I ended up. And I can't thank him and Jerry Braun Paintball News. Those guys are just terrific, terrific people. And I'm so proud that through the course of my career, I actually had to not only know these people, but actually had them as very close friends. And I just don't want everybody in the paintball community to forget these guys. These guys, they work very hard to build a sport to what it is. And then I want to say, first of all, I want to say hi to all the old Constant Pursuit players and the Ironmen. These guys are all my friends, and I just love the hell out of these guys. They're great bunch of guys, great players. They can play up a storm, take my word for it. They are very, very good at what they do. And I want to say hi to a new and up-and-coming little guy, a guy that we're going to actually pass the torch off to, Mr. 7-year-old Mark Gong Jr. Now, Mark, he's 7. I'm not kidding either. He's not even 8 years old yet. This kid's out there practicing with the airmen and getting eliminations. He is just absolutely rocking. So I just can't thank enough for Mark Gong, his father, to bring Junior into it and raise him the way he's raising him. It's, like I say, that is going to be the future of paintball. And we want these guys, we want this sport to grow. One thing that I've pushed all the time in this sport is I want the sport to keep growing. So when I connect people together and I bring people in here and I bring people in there, these are people, and I don't want to seem like a snob. Maybe I am, but these are people that I kind of handpicked, and these are people I think that really, really work extremely hard for the sport. And the guys I'm having on tonight, a couple of them, these guys, they're not in stores. These guys own all these markers. They are just nothing short of terrific, and I can't say enough about them. And I am so very happy to bring these guys onto my show tonight. And don't forget Jim Lively. I never forget Jim Lively. Jim Lively worked very, very hard. And along with Sam Caldwell. Sam has passed away. I haven't talked to Jim in, geez, probably been about 6 weeks now. But Jim's a heck of a guy. Jim's a very, very good friend of mine. And all the people I mentioned, I consider just top-notch friends, and I absolutely love them. So, you know what? We love the Auto Mag. That's all there is to it. The mag is been around for so long. I'm going to bring in some guys right now that love the Auto Mag just as much as I do. I'm going to start with Mr. William Bailey. Hey, buddy, hello. How you doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm going to bring in now Mr. Brad Gruitt. You know, it took me forever to get his name right, but I finally got it. Yeah, Paintball Therapy. How you doing this evening, Brad?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
I'm doing good, buddy. Good. And I want to bring in a newcomer to my show, Mr. Jake Barini. And I did get your name right, Jake?
Yeah, you did. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All these guys I have on the show tonight are going to have some terrific stories about, the mag. Obviously, you can see I have the mags on my show every week, period. And I absolutely love it. And, I want to give a shout out real quick to Brian Stoops. Brian's the one that hooked me up with you, Jake. Brian. I've got all kinds of people, trying to bring people together to grow the sport. And guys like Brian, they just jump right in when they see somebody that's really good for the sport. They bring it to my attention, and did a little checking up on you like I always do, and you just come up looking great. And before we get into this too far, I want to have everybody, I was going to wait and bring my surprise guest on later on, but I want to bring him on so that you can all meet him, and you guys we'll all listen to the stories about the mag together. Now, Jake, I talked to you the other day, and you said the top of your bucket list was what? To meet
Tom K.
Mr. Tom K. Now, that was the top of this guy's bucket list, okay?
Yep.
All right, well, how about I introduce you to Mr. Tom K?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Hey, Tom.
Here. Nice to meet you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought you would like that, Jake. Hey, Tom,
yeah.
when I was talking to Jake, I asked him, because he goes, I says, have you ever met Tom K? And he goes, you know what? He says, that's on the top of my bucket list. Over going anywhere or doing anything is to meet him. So Jake, Tom, Jake.
Tom.
Nice to meet all of you guys. Nice. Glad I could be here. Glad Fred invited me. You know, Fred and I go way back. I mean, way back to ancient history, about the time of cavemen. And we've had a great time over the years, and I'm glad he's back in the sport, huh? A little bravo for Fred getting back in. Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. And Tom,
And I'm glad we're doing an RMAX show today. You know, it's great.
It looks that way. You know what? I even talked my wife into letting me bring hers out. Tom made this special for my wife, Sharon. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me turn it around.
Great.
Hey, I had to sign waivers to let me use this tonight. She loves this bag, man. I promised her I'd show it and I'd put it back down. So, honey, I've done it. I've done it now. So Tom, we're going to have some great stories here tonight. Real quick, I just want to start with Brad, because Brad had a fire. Was it at your house, Brad?
Okay, I get to start this off. Wow. First, I've talked to you a few times over the years, Tom. It's an honor to be involved in a conversation with you. I think the first time was in the early 90s in Tennessee, when the auto response trigger came out, and you were having shooting contests, or guys were having shooting contests. And we met at a time down there, and it's changed my life. So it's an honor. So thank you very much for that, sir.
Well, thanks. Thanks so much. Thanks for the support.
Oh, yes. So I'll
Listen to this.
I'll get to the story real quick. I was going home. It was around Thanksgiving. Going home from my job at Perkins, going to go over to my mom's house, but I had to stop home on the way. When I stopped home, I opened up the front door, and the smoke came out. Now, I lived in a house with 5 college guys, so I didn't know what kind of smoke this was or exactly how bad it was until I opened the door. Then I saw this chair start on fire. So I walk out the front door, and I see my roommate, my buddy's car is there, and he lives upstairs on the second floor next to my bedroom. So, of course, if his car's there, we had a party the night before. Everybody's passed out. I run upstairs. I say, hey, the house is burning. He says, yeah, it's funny. I grab him by the leg. He had a lofted bed. I pulled him out. He fell on the floor. We all run outside, try to come up with some way to put the fire out. Long story short, I remember that on the chair that was on fire was my Automag that I had like my entire life. And I I swear to you, I have people still in paintball, still around who can validate this story. I ran into a house that was on fire, barehanded my mag, ran out the back door, dropped it on the porch, and when the paramedics got there and started treating my hand, they're like, "Oh, how'd you burn your hand?" I'm like, "Well, I had to save my roommate." And they're like, "Oh, you burnt it on the doorknob going up to save your roommate?" And I'm like, "Yes, I burnt it on the doorknob running up to save my roommate. But I swear to you that is true. I swear to you, we just replaced the brass pieces in it, and it continued to shoot." Honest to God, it's an honest, true story.
Now that's an Automag lover, guys. You know, I mean, he doesn't have a million mags like these other guys got.
No,
man, he's got the story. Believe me.
I had practice on Sunday.
Right on. You know, Tom,
That's pretty incredible.
Jake, I don't know if you've ever met Jake. Obviously, you haven't because he was pretty happy to meet you. But Jake really has a collection of mags. Jake, you want to give us a little bit of rundown about your stuff and your story?
So I actually have a question for Tom about a specific mag. I bought this mag from Simon Stevens. This is his personal classic RT, which supposedly was the first vert feed classic RT. Now, he said that this feed neck was soldered after, I guess, going out to dinner or something about 2 o'clock in the morning. Do you remember that?
A vertical feed RT. And that was the first vertical feed gun that we had done?
Yes. So supposedly the feed necks were machined and they were ready to, go into production or whatever. And this was, I guess, the first one because Simon wanted it done on his.
Is the body look nice? Because anything we would have done on a one-of thing that I did in the shop after hours would not look good.
That's the first one right there, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it has been cleaned up for sure.
So
Jake, how many do you have?
How many do I have?
Mags.
It probably in my personal collection about 50. Ish.
Oh, wow.
Ish.
Tell me you're not
So-
alone, Tommy.
Well, thanks. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. I can't believe the number of guys out there that are, buying up these old mags like they're an old 68 Camaro or something like that. It's interesting to see it happen. I never thought I'd be part of the collector world on this. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate that. As far as that story goes, that the story is correct. All right. I don't remember it being with Simon Stevens. Remember, I'm an old guy now, and I get it wrong.
Yeah.
I happen to remember something like that with Chris Goddard. Right. So Chris Goddard brought his loader over one time, and he wanted to see how fast he could shoot. And we were talking about vertical feeds, and we did something where we put together a vertical feed really quick. But I could have that wrong, right? I could have that wrong. You'd have to get Chris and Simon together, let them battle that out, because it's very possible I could be confabulating that the wrong direction, right?
No worries.
That would have been, one night that we went back after we'd been out and everything. So you never know what's happening.
Right. Well, that's what Simon said. He said it was pretty late.
Yeah. So I'm not at my best, I'm not at my best at that late at night. So
Yeah.
especially hanging out with you guys. But this is a
on,
very
Freddy.
good chance.
That's
Good
all
enough,
the
I
time.
guess. The feed neck's still there.
Yeah. Let me see the solder job. Hold it right up to the camera so I can see the solder job.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. It looked like it had been cleaned up. So.
Well, it may have been cleaned up. Yeah, it may have been cleaned up. Because if it was ugly and nasty, I go, yeah, that's me for sure. Yeah.
No, not really. You know, I was lucky enough to go to the actual factory when you had it going, you know, when you're making the mags. And I got to tell you, I walked in there, it was almost like a hospital. Everything was so clean and everything was all in the right place. And if you look on my site, you'll see Tom had a Miata hanging from one of his markers to show how tough it was. I'll never forget when I went in there, you took me in the back room and he had that car hanging there. That was just absolutely amazing.
So, you know, we that thing was right on the edge. That was Gary Gibson's racing Miata. We ended up having to take things out. We had to take the spare tire out. We had to take the radiator out because we were right on the edge of breaking that frame. We had just developed the carbon fiber frame, right? And at that point, nobody wanted a plastic anything on their gun.
Right.
And we knew that this carbon fiber frame would be tougher than the zinc. You know, die-cast zinc is what most of them were made of at that point. And if you fell on it, you know, running to the 50, you could easily break your handle off. So you break your grip frame off. So nobody believed it would be strong enough. So we're trying to come up with a way to say, well, how can we possibly prove this? And we said, well, this ought to be able to hold up a car. And Gary volunteered his car, but we were also worried about dropping his car and then I'd have to pay for all the damage. So the car was already kind of stripped down for racing. So we thought this would be the best choice. But we even had to take the radiator out to make sure it wouldn't break. But it took us like a week to hang that car. And we had to make a special bracket to hold onto the bottom of the grip frame to make it work. So it was quite an endeavor.
Yeah, but it worked. It was very impressive. Like I say, you can actually see the picture on my website. It's I thought it was cool as hell, period. You know, Tom and I have got to do some pretty neat things. We got to play with the team over in France one time. And you do remember that, don't you, Tommy?
Well, give me some help on this one, Fred. Which
France, one? We went, there was you, me. I think there was a couple of guys from France, a couple of guys from England, and one guy from Germany. We actually won it. We won that tournament.
Was this with Seligman? Was this with Seligman in France?
Seligman, that's correct. Yep, absolutely right.
And weren't they complaining a lot? If I remember that correctly, weren't they bitching a
lot? we kicked everybody's butt. They allowed one pro on the team, and I was a pro, thank goodness. We had a good time, but I don't think you remember how hard it rained. The last day we were playing in the finals, it was just pouring. So, yeah, you kept the trophy. You took the trophy and ran with it, man.
Oh, I'm sure I got it here in my stack of paintball stuff somewhere.
Truth comes out now.
Yeah, that was a hell of a time. And Tom, this is William Bailey. He's a good friend of right now. He's a good friend of Mr. Tim Schloss, and he's a real good friend of Bud Orr.
I've actually got Tim's gun here that I've got to rebuild for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a classic. It's got the wood grips on it too. That's got those ebony grips.
Yep.
You know, people. She showed those people. I haven't seen those in more than a decade.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was running for them, and then finally the O-rings went out. But I would assume they're probably 10 or 15 years old. You know.
Those are the same O-rings I gave them.
So I ordered 2 packs of them. You know, so they're on their way and just waiting to get them. So that's pretty exciting.
So, Jake, what are you holding there, buddy?
Great. This is another classic RT, and this classic RT belonged to Peter Collette. And for those that don't know who Peter is, he is PK Select. You know, they were the company that did all the crazy annos in the 90s, up until they ended up closing. And this one was his, which is pretty wild. If I remember, I think it's nickel plated and then anodized over the top. This gun is it's pretty crazy, yeah. But he did it as a showpiece, basically to show off, you know, obviously his skills. But he said that the price would be absolutely ridiculous, you know, for somebody to do it, you know, today. So much so that, you know, he just that nobody would even consider it.
Well, I
But
know
this-
these when Tom made these, they were pretty expensive because I remember you telling me the tip was like $16 wholesale, and you had to buy a bunch of just the tip on this barrel.
Yeah, because we made everything out of stainless steel, you know.
Yep.
And if you go price getting stainless steel in a machine today, you'll find out it's a pretty big slap in the face. So
Right on.
it was.
Hey,
I
Rick
should have gone to
Sandias,
aluminum much earlier. I would have made a lot more money.
Rick Sandias says hi to everybody. Rick is he's a great guy. He plays with the Ironman. He's played on CP. Just a terrific person. He says hi, and my daughter Jessica says hi to you, Tom, because she was in France.
Hi, Jess.
Yep. So, Bill, you have a gun that looks like this gun. Am I right?
Yeah. It's let's see.
And Bill is another one, Tom, that has a gazillion markers, man. And like I say, you're a popular guy. Take my word for it.
This is a
Check it out.
Nice. Oh, pump mag. Yeah, nice.
yeah. So,
All coordinated too. Woo.
yeah. Got the wooden grips again. So,
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I love those grips. I
Yeah.
love those grips.
they're my favorite. You know. But,
Yeah, I know Bill works on markers all the time. He's got you're only seeing just a portion of what this guy actually has, Tom. He just has a bunch of them, just like Jake does. Jake has a bunch of them also.
I have a question, quick.
Shoot.
Was there an intention to truly have a pump auto mag, or was that purely because of at the time some countries wouldn't allow semi-auto markers?
So no, it was not a country thing. So remember, so there is a Hatfield and McCoy feud between the pump guys and the semi-auto guys. And
Right.
as I was telling Fred when I talked to him last night, Russell Maynard, the editor of APG, said there will never be a pump gun. I mean, a semi-auto as good as a pump gun, right? That was his proclamation back in the day.
Okay.
He was right or wrong on that.
All right.
So the pump group has always been a subreddit under semi-auto, and they were always going to make a comeback, right? They were always going to make a comeback. So there was a time there when we came up with the pump mag that it looked like maybe the pump guys were going to come back, right? So we talked about it, and we realized, well, if we just made this, and this, and we made the auto mag into a pump, it would have the shortest stroke pump ever, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's if you want to talk about a short stroke, because a pump gun back then required you to have X amount of stroke, and how fast you could stroke that thing was the gun, right? That's what made the gun. And auto trigger was just unbelievable, right? Having an auto trigger on a pump gun. If you're back in the 80s, you were the man with an auto trigger. So we thought this has got to have to be the best thing possible, is to do it this way. So we did it, and when we first came out with it, people were like, "Wow," because they'd never seen a semi-auto convert into a pump gun, right? Nobody had ever done that before. So we thought, great, we'll make it as an add-on. So we thought this is going to be a fantastic thing. We'll sell the kit. You can bolt it on the gun. Be wonderful. There's one little problem, is that we had to machine that slot in the rail for the pump arm to go into, right?
Yep.
Right.
So as it turns out, if you machine that pump into machine that rail, 1,000 of those rails, so you can sell one pump kit, you lose a lot of money. So it was impossible for us to keep that up, right? We couldn't keep that up. And I learned that after the fact, right, which is hard to admit, but true. All right, so that is a very bad financial move to machine 1,000 slots for every one pump kit that you sell.
Right.
So if you can find an original one of those, that didn't last too long. But that's the story of the pump kit, and it's still a fun thing. It's still a fun to do. So
Right.
Yeah, I have actually one of those kits still in the package. I never put it on a marker, so I still have one of those original ones, Tom.
Wow.
Tom, go ahead.
Well, Well, I don't even have a pump kit in my collection, right? I try and keep, because I was running the company, I tried to keep one of everything, at least. Right. A lot of them, something's, relatively new. And I don't have that. I don't have that one. Probably because it had such a bad taste in my mouth. Like, oh,
yeah, I do. It's in a nice little clear package. Tom, I think everybody out there would be really interested if maybe you could give us a little story about how did you really think about starting this, and what did you do to actually start making the mag?
Well, a few of you guys may have been around in the 80s. The 80s was all about. Was that Bill? Were you there? You were.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So in the 80s, the pump gun was it. Yeah. And the thing I miss about the pump gun days is that you weren't crediting the gun, you were crediting the skill of the player, right? Nobody had this killer gun that made them a superstar. You were a superstar because you could make this pump gun do magical things. And we've lost that since then. And I was always a big fan of that concept. Anyway, that being said, everybody wanted one, right? Everybody wanted a semi-auto. And it was the holy grail. And anybody that could come up with one was great. Now Denny Tipman, to his credit, did come up with probably the first semi-auto ever. But the clips were a problem. And 15 shots, as everybody found out, you were done pretty quick, especially with at the full auto mode, because you couldn't control the rate of fire on that. Have you got one there? Okay, with the clip catcher. There we go. Yeah. So you're a god. So I had one of those Tipman Smigs, and I used to carry it out on the field, and I didn't even shoot it. I used to shoot the pump gun, because if you carried that on the field, they'd make you captain. Right, so that's all it took. You're in a walk-on game. You were the man with the gun slung over your back. Right, it was pretty cool. So I knew at the time that the Holy Grail was not the clip feed deal. It would be a gravity feed semi-auto, and there were a lot of people working on it at the time. But everybody was trying to make a gun, a real gun with a blowback mechanism and a real gun work on a paintball gun. And that was the problem. And in fact, that was the first gun I produced, was the blowback, the Panther, which I was going to try and pull out for you tonight, but unfortunately I fell asleep before this deal, and I didn't get a chance to go get it. Yeah, it was a blowback, right? And back then we were using CO2. So we all looked at that. So I went into it because I knew it was the deal. And I brought one to skirmish one time, and I stayed in a house there. Paul Fogel put us the guests in, and Jerry Braun was there, and I told him about the semi-auto, that I had one working, and he goes, "Oh, I'm happy to meet a new millionaire," he said. So, which is one of the nicer things Jerry's ever said to me. So that's how it was back then, right? It was a known commodity that would be a big deal. So I was also working for making parts for PMI at the time. I made the PMI face shield. We also made the Micro CA and the 6-pack, and all during that time I was working on producing a marker, and they were supposed to produce the gun. So I gave them the Panther to produce it, and they were going to have Daisy produce it. So they were very enamored with Daisy. They said, "Oh, you're a small company, you can't make enough of these things, blah blah blah." I said, "Look, I'm a manufacturing guy." I said, "You got to trust me on this." No, we want to send it to Daisy. So I give them the rights to it, right, and they brought it to Daisy, and I waited and sat back and waited for my percentage that I would get on the sales. Daisy couldn't produce the gun, and I actually flew down there to figure out what was going wrong. Well, Daisy wasn't even trying to produce the gun; they were trying to job it out to two guys in a garage for them to produce. So, I mean, if they were worried about me, and now this was a step down that Daisy did to a couple of guys that had a milling machine in their yard, in their backyard. They couldn't do it. So I went down there, tried to help them out. We got the prototype working. Daisy eventually abandoned it, and now we're kind of stuck in a catch-22 because they couldn't produce it. I was waiting for them to do something, and they didn't. And there was a clause that I put in the contract. This was one of the smart things I did in my life. I said, if you don't produce the gun, I get to buy it back for dirt cheap. So the day before that was going to expire, I executed that part of the contract and said I'm buying the design back, and they were freaked, right? They didn't see that coming, and I didn't buy it back to produce the gun. I bought it back to get out from underneath my no compete because I couldn't produce a gun while they were supposed to be selling this one. So it got me out from the no compete. At that point, we'd already been started working on a second generation, which was a second blowback design. So the first one was called the Panther, and the second version was called the Panther 2, P2 for short. And it was a blowback, and it had the same kinds of problems where it kept freezing up and wouldn't cock back and all that. So I said, this isn't going to work. We got to turn this whole thing around. Got to flip the script on this whole thing. And that's when I turned the whole valve mechanism around and made it blow forward and spring cock. So because the spring was cocking the gun, it would never fail to cock, which was the nemesis of all these blowback things, right? And CO2 was a problem too, but at that time, that was all we had to live with. So that's when I threw away years of work and 2 separate designs that I had a lot of time and effort into, and put the mag together and came out with the mag, which was then P3. And then it went through a couple of version changes, P4, and we eventually marketed P5, and you heard some of the stories of the P numbers on the mags over the years. So that's how it happened. So it was a very tumultuous process. Airgun Designs was almost not even there. And I'll tell you another story how Airgun Designs got into the market. I was making PMI face shields for PMI, and we sold a lot of them. We made about 40,000 of those things for them at the time. And then I came up with the quick change, the micro CA quick change. And at the time, a quick change was a $14 item. So I came up with the micro CA, and I brought it to a PMI, and I said, hey, this is the deal. I said, it's got to sell for about $65. And they freaked out, right? Said, there's no possible way you're going to sell a quick change for $65. So I was kind of stunned. I did not want to be a sales marketing guy. If you guys have known me for a long time, I suck at sales, right? I absolutely suck at sales. I only make the product. I try and make it as good as I can. You got to buy it because it's good, not because I'm telling you it's good. So I was a little bit shocked, and I went back and I said, well, we got this product. We're not selling it to PMI. We got to sell it ourselves. So let's start a company. What do? We make air guns and stuff. I go, okay, we'll call it Airgun Designs. Boom. That's how we got in. So that's how Airgun Designs was born, right like that.
Wow.
Yeah, hell of a story. Oh, my goodness.
A lot of stress. See all this gray hair? You know where that comes from? It comes from those years. Those years, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know about those years, except there is no hair. Yeah, we took, I tell everybody too about, when I first got involved with it was we went to Lively's tournament, the Masters back there, and, everybody had pump guns except Swarm. Swarm came out with the mags, and they just smoked everybody in that tournament, period. Man, I got to tell you, because I was still shooting Ross Alexander's Bushmaster, which I actually still have, the original Bushmaster here. But man, after that tournament, that's the first thing I had to do was find out who the hell made that gun and how can I get my hands on one of them damn things. And I still got them, 30 years later, Tommy? 31 years?
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got to mention a few people. I've had people zipping in here all the time. But, Robert Hansen says hello. Alexander King. Keith Kissel, Kenny Stewart's chimed in a few times, and Rick Sandias, I chimed in a few times. Andy Starrett, Andy? He lives in Colorado, Tom, and he has the Ellie Remember Foundation. His daughter was she was killed in a domestic violence thing, so that's what he does, and I help. I donate to them, and matter of fact, I donated not my very first CP jacket, but like my first new patch CP jacket that Bill bought for his museum, because Bill Bailey, Tom, actually has a traveling museum, paintball museum, and he has just a ton of stuff in that museum. Am I right, Bill?
Yeah, there's a lot of oddities. It grows every day.
What's that box I see behind your head? Does that say mini mag?
Yeah, that's a mini mag. Yep.
Yeah.
It
You got
goes,
one of them original boxes, Tom?
I have a few of them. Yeah. I've got a few X Mags new in the box, right? So when I die, then you guys got to jump on those.
Dibs.
Yep. Heck yeah.
Well, hell, where do I put my name in?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably outlive all of us except for maybe Jake and Brad, you know.
That's all my guys say the same thing. They've called dibs on the different guns. I told them all what's going to happen is at my funeral, it's going to be a 1-versus-1 tournament. The first place gets first pick on down.
I don't know. I heard something about a raffle, but anyhow.
You've been talking to Susan.
Right on, buddy. So Jake, you want to jump in a little bit? How did you get started in paintball, buddy?
So I got started. It was actually I got invited by my dad to go play in a company work outing that my uncle actually played in, and he's been playing since the 80s. So he kind of organized it, and then my dad invited me. I got to skip school, and that was it. I was hooked.
And so then you just started collecting markers after that, or what?
Yeah, went into a Tidman and Spider and that all mess, and then I think it was a year and a half, maybe 2 years in, I found a mag in a pawn shop, and the rest was history.
And now he's got like 50 some of them.
Right, yeah.
And same way with you, Bill. I've never really even heard how you got into this.
How did I get into it?
Yeah. I've known you for a while. Never know how you got into it, buddy.
I was actually running to town for my mom, and I seen a guy standing out on this deserted gravel road with a walkie-talkie, and he looked kind of shady. So I pulled down there. I was like, what's going on? And he goes, oh, we're getting ready to play some paintball today. And I was like, what? I'd heard about it. I started playing in '84. And it was a company called Field Warriors. And so I sat there and checked it out. It was private games, unfortunately, so I couldn't play that game. And so I just seen what it was all about, and I went and got my mom's groceries, and then I just tracked them down, called, and found out when their next, what they considered open play. And what they do is they had a camouflage bus, and they would meet everybody up here at the mall in Springfield, and you just pay $20 and you get on this bus and ride it down to the field. They had a keg of beer in there. Yeah, they had a keg of beer and a home stereo system. I mean, it was the loudest damn bus ever. And I only rode it one time. I was only like 16 or 17 at the time, and I rode it one time, and the damn motor blew on it. And they were stuck on the damn interstate. And I was like, this sucks. That was the only time I ever tried to ride that thing. I was like, enough of that. But that's how I got started. I ended up working for him. And after about a year, I bought all my own equipment and started Bailey's Battlefield, and been doing that since. I've been working with the industry. Tom, you were an Allied commander at D-Day one year, and I was a German commander.
Oh, that was the D-Day day.
Yes.
Is that the one where I was alone on the first landing craft over the water?
Yes, and you went with your sidearm, I think it was, and yeah, it was bad.
It was both.
You kind of got lit up just a little bit, but my favorite story about that was James Hilton gave me a tombstone pizza, and I ate it on the stage because he goes, "Here's your tombstone," and you were like, it almost made you sick because he had it in his car for 2 or 3 days, and I ate it raw, and you were like, it was in his car for 3 days, and I'm like, thanks for telling me, and that was it. It was just pretty funny.
Well, I got a story about that D-Day thing. I got a good story about that.
Oh my!
So for those of you that haven't heard, and too bad we can't pull up that picture. Do you do share screen on this thing? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. So there's a picture from that day. So in D-Day, the big deal was you got in these landing crafts and went across this little creek or pond, and the door flipped down on the other side, and everybody piled off the landing craft what was that? What was that big battle in World War II? It wasn't Iwo Jima, it was something else.
Normandy. Yeah.
Normandy.
What was it?
Normandy.
Normandy. It's supposed to be the beaches of Normandy, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, of course, I'm thinking, again, I'm a shitty promoter, right? I'm crap for promotion. I got to do something to promote, the mag on this thing. There's a lot of people here. So I said, I know, I'll be like the first guy off the landing craft. All right. So I thought, this is a great idea. It'll be a good promo, right? And I talked to the head guy and everything, and he agrees. And then it's all kind of set up. And I start thinking about it. I go, well, you know what? I'm going to be coming off that landing craft. There's going to literally be 1,000 people shooting at me, right? And as more I thought about it, I said, what happens to a body when 1,000 paintballs hit you at the same time?
They're not going to hit you with one ball each.
That's a pretty big welt. I go, that's a pretty much welt all over my body. I might end up in the hospital. So as the day droned on and turned into night, I got more and more afraid that I was actually made the biggest dumb move of my life, saying I'd do this thing, and I couldn't back out, right? So the Tom K. Brain goes to work, and I said, I got to protect myself. Okay, so what can I do? What can I do? And it's like 11 o'clock at night. I go, I know. I'll go buy some padding, and I'll put it underneath my jacket in the back, and when the door falls down, I'll let the first 1,000 paintballs hit me in the back, all right, and I'll be all padded up, and I'll be all right? So I go to Walmart in the middle of the night. It's the only place open. And I can't find anything. And I buy a piece of carpeting. And I take it back. And I cut it out. And I fit it in the thing. And it came up over the back of my neck. So I go, okay, I'm not going to die today. I'll take the first hit. I'll go do a couple shots, then run for cover. So I get in the landing craft. My heart's pounding. The thing's going across. The guy's motoring us over, pulling on the rope, whatever it was. I get to the other side. And you can hear them all over there, right? Here it comes. And I was going to kick the door backwards, so my back was the door. I was going to kick the door. I kick the door, and nothing happens. The door won't go down. And I go, now my heart is coming out of my chest. And I go, I can't just sit here. I got to do something. So I had to turn around, and I stood up, and I kicked the door down. And I went charging into the thing, and they caught the picture of me right off the landing craft.
Yeah.
Thank God they had limited the number of guys on the other side to about, 30 or 40 guys. So, yes, I did, but I didn't turn into a giant welt. But it was really quite the experience. And if you see that picture, you can see a little bit of carpeting sticking up by my neck. And now you got a story to tell if that picture ever comes up in front of anybody.
It's out there.
Probably in the fear in your eyes through the goggles, too.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Bud Orr says hi to everybody.
Hey, Bud.
Hey, Bud.
And Tom, my great friend.
Yeah.
And my good buddy, Bud.
Yeah, you guys go way back. Matter of fact, it's a shame. I don't tell everybody how far we go back. People tease me about coming over on the Ark, and I go, they wouldn't let me on the Ark. I was in the rowboat behind them.
Tom's used his lasers on you, Fred.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Made it glow in the dark.
Yeah. Trevor Swindle, he chimed in. He says he's terrified what's going to happen to his guns when he finally dies.
Oh, yeah. He's got a collection, too.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. He's got a lot of angels and I think some shockers and stuff.
Oh,
I know he has at least one mag.
At least they represent, right? At least they represent.
Yeah.
Kenny Stewart said that was a fantastic story, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the day Tom K was scared to death, and that's the one I want everybody to remember me by. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, Bud Orr
That's
says you
the
look
moment.
great.
Yeah, but Bud's way healthier than I am.
We
Right?
used to have to we used to have that poster, Tom, of you coming out of the boat or whatever at Normandy in our local store. I'm not sure. I know you signed it, but I'm not sure when or where you signed it.
Yeah.
No, that was a great shot. That was one of the best shots ever. So you can never say I didn't play. All right, you can never say I didn't play with it.
Well, we played. Matter of fact, my wife brought out the patch from, I believe it was 1994, when we went and we had the world record-breaking game at Skirmish. Remember Cleo and Paul's place?
Yep.
in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
We were at the World. There was like 26 or 2,700 people there at that time. So that was pretty
That's a
intense. You
lot
know,
of
you
people.
you get out there. Yeah, you didn't know who was coming from where. There were so many people out there playing, but that was a great time too. And I'm friends with Cleo and Paul both on Facebook. They're a couple of terrific people. Really are. So you know, Brad, this is like hockey when you get all these guys together, man. You got to like put your elbows up and just dive right in if you want to say something, man.
I'm enjoying every moment of this completely.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Tom to throw out a couple more stories, man. You know?
Oh, yeah. Stories I got.
Yeah.
We were at the Shatner game at Challenge Park, and just standing in the crowd, they're doing a safety brief or something, and Tom slaps this guy on the back. It's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he'd put a sticker on his back, and it said, "You've been assimilated." You remember that? Yeah. He was the Borg. He was on the Borg's team, and it actually caused confusion because people thought it was really part of the game that they might have to play on the Borg's team when they were a Klingon or the Federation. I thought that was pretty funny. That's one of the sneakiest things I've seen done at a big game like that.
Yeah, that son of a bitch Shatner. You guys ever hear the story about how Shatner got me when they took him prisoner? Did you ever hear that story? Okay. So this was at the big game at Bluesfield that we did, right? And the team took him prisoner and brought him to me, right? So they bring Shatner to me, and he's like no gun, no nothing. He comes up and they say, "Well, we've got him. What do you want to do with him?" And we're sitting there debating, what should we do, this or that, blah 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 blah. And Shatner starts, and he starts grabbing his chest. And goes, I'm not feeling well, right? And I'm responsible for William Shatner, a paintball game here, right? Screw paintball.
Yeah.
Bill's
Right.
my man. I can't have him having a heart attack on the field, right? He starts going off at this thing, and I go, "Bill, you okay?" Bill, he goes, "Oh no, I just wait, just give me a second." And I walk up to him, I grab him by the shoulder. The son of a bitch takes a paintball out of his sleeve and slaps me with it and goes, "You're dead." And he assassinated me just like that, and it was all a pre-planned gig. And I go, "God damn it, Shatner!" I said, "Next time you're dying of a heart attack, I'm letting you wiggle on the ground till you're dead." I told him.
Which team were you on that one, Tom?
I was wearing the black cowboy hat, wasn't I? On that one, what was that? I was the good guys or the bad guys. Well, I don't remember what the team names were. There it was. That's it. What do we call that team?
I think is that the jersey? That's the jersey, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the jersey. What was the team?
Shoot.
The side's called, right? I'm getting too old to remember these details.
I don't remember. It's just no telling. I can't remember.
Now
The
the
board
$1 million question
for that one.
is:
It was
he properly overly dramatic when he sold that heart attack?
It was classic Shatner. Classic Shatner.
Yeah.
Right.
I just had a little communication with Bill actually a couple of months ago for the paintball video that John Amadea was doing. We wanted to get him on the video. It was during the whole COVID thing. So I hadn't talked to him in many, many years. And some of the words, some of the people that had talked to him about paintball since then said, "Oh, he doesn't remember anything, this and that." So I talked to his assistant, told him where he was. She goes, "Oh, yeah, he'd love to hear from you. Email him here." I did. And he wrote back an email saying, a very warm email, said, "Oh, good to hear from you. You know, we had so much fun together. And then, of course, I'll do a video as soon as this COVID thing cleans up. We'll get together. We'll shoot a video for paintball and the history of, my involvement and stuff." So I hope that we haven't gotten that together yet, but I hope in the future I'll get together with John and we'll go down and visit him, and it'll be a lot of fun. But, he was a great point in paintball to have a big celebrity like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He
for
was,
sure.
Well, him and Ricky Schroeder too. I played with Ricky Schroeder in a few tournaments. He used to play with a team out of LA, and he was pretty cool too. He loved it a lot. And John Armadillo did a real good job on that video that he did for the history of paintball. Somebody got a radio on or something? Wow, I'm picking something up here.
I think it's just somebody's speaker is slowly
There we go.
echoing.
Yeah, it's gone now. But yeah, John did a real good job on that. And I haven't even watched the last disc. I watched the first 2 discs, and I've seen you in there, Tommy. You're looking good. And yeah, I haven't even watched the last disc yet, but I thought he did a real good job on what he did with it. Hey, Brad, have you seen it all the way through?
I have not. I have not seen it all the way through. No.
No. How about you, Tom? You seen it all the way through?
No, I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing. I did watch a lot of segments of it, but I realized like what was going on in the tournament scene because after about 2000, we weren't really involved in the tournament side of things, and I did watch that end of it, and I was surprised at everything. I didn't know how. I knew Dynasty was dominant, for instance, but I didn't know how dominant they were over a period of years and things like that. So there was actually some things about it where I saw some stuff. Again, the early days, I was there for all of it, so it wasn't much news to me doing that. But some of the later day stuff where the paintball industry got really big, a lot of things were going on at different ends of the industry that, even if you were deep involved in it, you wouldn't necessarily know about it. So.
Yeah. My buddy Art Gonzalez, Art used to play in Constant Pursuit. Terrific guy, lives down in the LA area right now. Yeah, he said Ricky Schroeder played for Sudden Death. That's exactly who it was, too.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. We were at a tournament. We were at Lively's tournament, and my daughter Jessica was there with us, and she was like, I guess, 7 years old or something like that. And I had known Ricky from before, from other tournaments and stuff like that. And we get done with the game, and we're in our staging area, and she looks over, and Ricky's sitting over there by a tree, and she goes, Dad, I think that's Ricky Schroeder over there, and I look over there, and I knew who it wasn't, but I go, no, that's not Ricky Schroeder. And she's like, no, Dad, I'm telling you, that's Ricky Schroeder. And I go, no, that's not Ricky. And she goes, it is. So I said, well, let's go see him. I grab her hand. Matter of fact, she's on here right now. And I'm dragging her. She's 7 years old. We get up by him, and I go, excuse me, are you Ricky Schroeder? And he kind of looks up at me like, Fred, you know who the hell I am, and I'm over here winking like this. And he goes, yes, I am. I go, can she touch you? And I went like this, and she pulled away and fell down and turned and ran away. But she's on right now, man. She'll remember that big time. So that was her deal with Ricky Schroeder. But Ricky was one of the nicest guys for a star out there, just like William Shatner was for Tom Kay. He was just a really good guy. So, and there's a lot of stars that have played paintball that people don't even realize that actually did it. Tim Schloss had a lot of the then St. Louis Rams out there playing paintball at his field all the time. And I don't know if Tom remembers, but we did a big game. And when Schloss would do the big games, I mean, Tommy, you got to admit, he sucked everybody in there. I mean, anybody that was anybody in paintball, damn it, was at them games, period. And what a riot they were. Well, the night before the big game, he goes, hey, Freddy, he says, I got this set up downtown with these 2 disc jockeys. So you, Tom, me, and Randy Camilla are going to go down there. And I'm like, hey, that's great, man. Let's go down there. So we get in, and I can't remember the guys' names now, damn it. But anyhow, we get into the show right there, and they actually take us in the booth, and they're doing a live show. And one thing led to another, and how the turnabout actually happened, I don't know. But Tom and I ended up taking over the show, and it was funny, And we're on there, and one of the disc jockeys going, oh no, they're tying me up, and Tom starts talking on the thing, and the other guy goes, oh, they're tying me up too. So Tom and I started introducing songs, and it was just nothing short of a riot. And the next day, these 2 disc jockeys come out and played paintball with us too. It was funny
because I was doing my big announcer voice at that time. And we were saying, paintball, come on down and play at Tim Schloss's field tomorrow, Sunday.
We were so impressed. But yeah, that was a pretty good evening, don't you think?
Oh, that was great. I completely remember that. What I remember is as you and I were both speaking into the microphone with our microphone voices at that time, we sounded almost the same. It was really pretty funny.
Absolutely correct, Mr. K. Absolutely. And Randy Camilla standing over here against the wall like this. and Schloss is like, oh, this is so cool. Oh. Oh, that was a hell of an evening, man. I got to tell you. Very, very cool. Yeah. Well, guys, I got to tell you, My hour is just about up here. I try to keep it at an hour. I try not to run too long. Tom, I'm going to ask you, please, to come back on the show again.
Anytime. Anytime.
And, I can't even thank you enough for coming on tonight. Jake, you can take that off your bucket list, buddy.
Yep. Check.
If you get to Southern Arizona, Jake, look me up. We'll go out for lunch or dinner.
Awesome. Will do.
Okay.
There
Same with you guys, Brad, Bill. Anytime you guys get out this way, we're by Tombstone, right, where they have the shootouts at the OK Corral. So we're still we got the guns down here. So yeah, come on down anytime.
The history. Love the history.
Outstanding. Well, Brad, you wanna say anything before we cut off?
I appreciate being involved in this conversation. I know that I've talked to Tom about having him on a therapy show with Tim because we were doing an air gun episode that didn't quite get to work out. So I'm blown away that it worked out this way. So
You were going to have a therapy show with Tim Schloss? Is that what you're talking about?
no,
okay. You will need therapy after that, baby.
Yes. Probably another episode to recover from that episode. But thank you very much for your time and the contributions and everything. I mean, it goes without saying, but again, for you to stay connected to the industry, it's a great thing, and all your dino explorations. I used to play for Forrest Brown, and I know Jeff Schreiber and Jeff worked for you. So there's this, I feel like I know you even better because he would just tell me stories and stories and stories of it. So it's just a great thing, and I appreciate you. So thank you very much.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. And Fred and I both feel the same way. We're kind of dinosaurs in this whole thing, no pun intended. But the fact that you guys still remember who we are, really, we appreciate that too, right? And the fact we come back here after 15 years after I left paintball, we're still, you guys still remember some stories about this product I made. I think it's fantastic. And I appreciate it. It's part of my legacy, and paintball is a great legacy by itself, and I'm glad everybody's sharing it. I really like to see everybody doing the collection and the history of all this. So it's fun. It's fun to get together and talk about it. So,
that's a big part about my show, Tom, is, first of all, bringing people together, but not letting the new people involved in paintball forget about where it actually came and who really worked extremely hard to make it what it is. The names I read off at the beginning of every one of my shows, obviously, which you are included, these guys, they are the ones that worked their butts off, spent tons of money, lots of hours to make things work and to actually grow the sport. So, Tom, getting to know you, to saying that I've known you for 30 some years, man, that's a charge for me. You know that. Absolutely. You and I have had some pretty good times together. I love it. And I'm looking forward to maybe some more.
We'll be together in the future, I'm sure. And I'm so happy you're back, Fred. It was about time. We need Fred in the industry, right? There's only one Fred Schultz.
That's
There's only one Fred.
I appreciate that, Tom. All right, Fred, you said good night, so good night to you. Stay safe.
Good night, everybody.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
Okay, Jake, your turn, buddy. Go ahead and say good night to Mr. K.
Well, thanks, Tom. Thanks for everything. Thanks for making an awesome product, and it's been amazing.
Thanks. Thank you. Without dedicated fans like you, there would never be a mag or the history of it or anything. So like I say, I'm pretty accessible. If you send me an email, you answer. So it's easy to work on.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, Jake, I'm looking forward to having you on again too, buddy. I really, really am.
Yeah, anytime, Fred.
And I appreciate it so much. You have a good evening, okay?
All
Thanks,
right,
Jake.
guys.
See you, Jake.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Let's try it again.
He's switching them.
Bill, get off my butt about my electronics.
I know. He's moving. How does he do this? It's
Hey,
wizardry.
Art Gonzalez said it was a great show. Art, Art. You probably don't remember Art, Tom, but Art was on Constant Pursuit. He was a really husky Mexican guy. He had an accident years ago on his bike, and he ended up getting paralyzed from the waist down. And so he got into racing bikes, paralyzed bike racing. And I guess he was kicking butt. So, but now he's kind of out of that too. But he watches our show religiously. And Art, buddy, I love you like a brother. So he has chimed in. Kenny Stewart chimed in a million times tonight. But or said John Snyder at SatCon Village. So, yeah. Yep, John Snyder, another actor. So that's cool. Yeah, Art says good night to everybody. All right, Bill, I'm going to give you a chance to say good night to Mr. K.
Well, I'll say good night to both of you. Thanks for everything you've done, Tom, and over the years, it's been awesome. And now watching you on Facebook, doing the Dino exploit, exploring all that, and then DB Cooper, and it's just awesome. And I just like to say thank you, on behalf of everybody, for doing everything you've done for paintball as a sport in the industry. You're one of the leaders. You always will be.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Really from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. But this is I don't know if you remember this, but at Living Legends, you were hanging around the museum for a little bit, and I had you autograph it. And what's funny, there's another group on Facebook that uses this as their page picture. Oh my God. I seen it, I was Googling something, and that came up, and I was like, that looks like my gun. And then I'm like, hey, that's on my jersey. That's my picture, There's another group that actually uses that,
You know what? That's how you can tell the really old guys from the new young guys, right? If you're a really old guy, you know that the Mag and the Cocker guys are really connected at the roots, like Bud and I are connected.
Yeah, heck yeah.
All the young guys that think that there's a big rivalry going on,
There's always great stories, with Bud, and it always usually involves you. And,
yeah.
We could talk about crazy stories, right?
Yeah, Bud just chimed in and said good evening to everybody.
Yeah,
he's pretty cool.
I seen some pictures of you hanging out with bears with Bud.
Yep.
That's just incredible. I'm like, there's no way you're not cool until you're Bodo and Tom K cool hanging out with bears.
Well, Bud went out to go play with the bears, and we couldn't tell who was who.
Don't put
right?
shit back on.
Yeah, Bud was big as a bear, man. You never want him to hit you. I was with Bud one time, and he hit a dummy hanging on the back of a door, and he got upset, and he hit that dummy. He almost broke the door. Right? You never want Bud the bear to be mad at you. I tell you that. Hear that, Bud? You know it's true, Bud. I remember when you whacked that dummy that Aliba gave you.
A couple of months ago, he came down, and we were out in my backyard, and we were hanging out with a bunch of our friends, and he brought a Model 85.
Model 85.
Yeah, let's see. This one right here, actually. Let me grab it. And the Model 85, the primer fired.
Oh yeah, classic gun. I wish I had one.
He loaded up a magazine, and we're sitting there looking at it, he goes, he accidentally pulled the trigger, and it emptied that magazine in like a half a second. And we all just listened to the show like, what the hell? But I've got him on video doing that. I'll send it to you. It's pretty.
No trigger discipline, Bud. No trigger discipline.
It was funny. The look on his face was like, oh, shit,
Yeah, Bud just chimed in and said, I remember, Tom. All right, Bill. Well, I'll tell you what, buddy, I appreciate so much you being on tonight.
Oh, no problem. Thanks a lot, and we'll hopefully see you guys Tuesday. All
right. Good to see you, Bill. Thanks.
See you, Tom.
All right.
Thank you. See you later.
All right, Tom. Buddy, like I say, we go back a lot of years. I can't even begin to thank you. People were chiming in left and right tonight. Right. And I didn't tell them you were going to be on. If I just said I was going to have a special guest on, So next time, we'll probably tell people you're going to be on, and then we'll probably get swamped. But we'll just have to live with it. But
Well, I'll pull out a bunch of the antique stuff from the back dredges of the attic, and we can have a show and tell show. It'll be a lot of fun.
it will be. What's really good is the stories you tell. And plus, look at the guys you just made happy tonight. Not just the guys that were on the screen, Tom, but the people that chimed in that actually got to watch you do this. To me, that is bringing the sport back together and bringing it up another level. That just means a lot to me to promote the sport. I got a lot of heat in years past going, oh, you're promoting Fred Schultz. Well, I kind of rode the wave, but I really promoted paintball. I just kind of got stuck on top of the wave and just went with it. And and I was very, very happy to do it. And just like the videos and stuff we put out, all of that made a big difference in paintball, getting people involved in doing it. And you are just one of the guys that are one of I consider the really, really good forefathers of this sport. I know you didn't get in at the extreme beginning, but you made such a difference in it. And your stories and everything tonight were just nothing short of great. And I am absolutely looking forward to having you on again, and you are welcome on anytime. I'm on every Tuesday night.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy to be on, Fred. Like I said, I'm happy you're here, right? I'm happy we brought Fred out of the woods again, right, to come back in, because the sport needs you now, especially now, right? We don't have any stars that are standing up and and promoting it the way only Fred can. So keep out there doing that job, man, and then you're gonna bring the sport right back to where we need it to be.
Well, that's what we're going to try to do. But, with your help, Bud Orr's on there. He said, you're the best, Fred. Bud, I love you. You know that. You, Tom Kay, and God rest his soul, Dennis Tipman, Sr., you guys were innovators, period. I just, nobody can say anything different, period. You guys took a sport and just elevated it to the point where it was just incredible. And look at you, Tom. You're on the show, still doing it. Bud's here. Still doing it, You guys are just nothing short of great.
Paintball never dies. And remember, we thought paintball only had a few years to go before it was all going to be over, right? In 1990, everybody gave it maybe 1 or 2 years. So we're still here.
Yep, not anymore. Now we're going to go on from here. I'm going to push paintball until I check out. Real simple, just like that. I love the sport. I loved it from the first time I played it. I tell everybody just exactly how blessed I feel to have friends in the sport like you and Bud and Schloss and Dan Colby and these guys. To have that many friends of that magnitude in the sport is an absolute blessing to me. And again, Tom, I want to thank you so much for coming on my show tonight, buddy. Big time.
Hey, thank you, Fred. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it, and I absolutely guarantee you we'll do it again.
Thank you so much. All right. You have a good evening, Tom.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye, Bud. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Wow. Mr. Tom Kay. Man, my head almost exploded when he came on. I'm like, oh, God, this is Tom Kay. I love it. I love it. I got to tell you, Bud Orr, Paintball Forever. You're absolutely right, brother. All of us will work on it very, very hard. You, Tom, me, Schloss, Dan and John Colby, we're going to make it happen. We're just going to keep it going. We just cannot let this die, period. That's all there is to it. Kenny Stewart, thanks so much, man. You checked in all night long. Great show. Thanks for putting it together. What really made the show tonight was my guests. I'm just a mouthpiece on here. And thank God I got to set it up. And I thank God that, that these guys actually came on, getting Tom Kay on, that's not like calling up Joe Blow and going, hey man, you want to be on my podcast? It was just when he said he would do it, I was just like, man, I think I actually floated into the other room. I was so happy, but it is what it is. So I want to thank everybody for chiming in tonight and watching my show. I thank, again, my guests so very much. They made the show for me tonight. And I thank all of you people. And remember, we want to work real hard to bring people together. The fighting in paintball, only makes paintball go downhill. We want paintball to go uphill. So no fighting, no hassling. Let's all work together and really make this sport bigger than what it is right now, because I know we can do it. There's just no doubt in my mind, guys. So anyhow, from myself, I just want to say, please play hard, play safe, play fair, but go play paintball. So until next Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Pacific time, you guys stay safe out there. Bye now.